I know, this is not the video that you guys wanted to see. You want to see that Ryzen mobile. I'm working on it, okay? I'm running some tests on the Bristol Ridge chip right behind me right now. Some benchmarks are going. And then as soon as I get the Ryzen laptop, I will start benchmarking on that one. So that should arrive in about a week. So give me 1 to 2 weeks and I'll have your benchmarks up and then a review soon after that. So just be patient. I'm working on it as fast as I can. In the meantime, though, I'm bringing you guys another parts list. This time for a $2,000 to $2,500 mid to high end workstation build. So given the price, it seems like a super high end build, and it kind of is. But when you look at workstations in general, I'm gonna call it mid to high end. So let's just get right into it. With the CPU, we have the Threadripper 1920X. That's a 12-core processor. It's not the $1,000 16-core Extreme Edition 1950X, but it still has 12 cores, which is a lot of cores. Still going to be a very powerful processor for any workstation needs. We do need some adequate cooling for it, so the Corsair H100i is a nice little water cooler. That should do just fine for this 12-core behemoth. Yes, I know some of Noctua's gigantic box coolers will do a bit of a better job, but I still wanted to keep a sleeker aesthetic going on. My personal philosophy is that no matter what your purpose for a PC, if it's a custom PC, aesthetics should matter. Um, so yes, for $100, this is still a great performing cooler. Looks great, works great, no problems. This is all going in an MSI X399 Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard. I have their X370 version, the AM4 version. That's what I'm using in this computer right here that I'm recording on. It's a great motherboard. I have no problems with it. The X399 just adds a bunch more bells and whistles along with the X399 platform that the Threadripper processors fit into. For RAM, since this is a workstation build, I went with 32 gigs of Corsair Vengeance LPX memory, so that's 4x8, so you can have your full quad channel memory. I know it's only 2400, but this is another one of those cost saving measures, and it's 32 gigs. 2400 is still just fine, so that's what I went with. I'm currently sporting 24 gigs, and even that's having some problems with programs like After Effects. So I think 32 gigs for a mid-range workstation should be adequate. Storage, I went full SSD. Honestly, hard drives are becoming harder and harder to justify. Prices for SSDs are coming down. This one's less than $300 for a terabyte of insanely fast storage. It's SanDisk Ultra 2, extremely reliable, extremely fast. No, it's not NVMe or whatever, but SSDs are still SSDs and they're still pretty fast. Unless it's just archival, in which case, if you're doing archive and you have a workstation, you'll probably have a separate server for that anyways, or a NAS. So that's why I just went full SSD, just squeeze out all that performance here. For the GPU, this is probably one of the biggest cost-saving measures of this build to keep it closer to the 2000 mark. I went with a GTX 1070, literally the cheapest 1070 I could find, which happened to be a Zotac Mini, which is still a great card. 1070 honestly should be fine for any workstation applications. I'm mostly keeping in mind content creation and video editing when putting together this list. You might need a better GPU for simulations or whatever, but if it's virtualization, you have your 12 cores, video editing, and that sort of thing, the GPU should matter a lot less, and a 1070 should be more than enough for what you got. And especially considering GPU prices right now, this is honestly a pretty good deal. For the case, I'm putting all of this in a Fantex Enthoo Pro M. It's a nice looking mid-tower case, very sleek, a clean design. It's a workstation, and as I said, aesthetics matters. This is probably going to be going in a more business environment. So that's why I went with a sleeker design instead of something louder. Powering it, we have an EVGA G2L 750 watt power supply. All I really wanted here was that it was fully modular so that we could have good cable management with all the extra pins we would need for things like Threadripper or the 1070. And then anything else you might want to add into your own workstation, because who knows what other add-in cards you might be putting in. So to make sure we have enough cables and whatnot to be able to route it. And then 750 watts is more than enough. It consumes less than 500 watts total. 750 should give you room for upgrades. So yeah, that's this. In this cost, I'm not factoring any other add-in cards, maybe a capture card, Nix, whatever. I'm not factoring that into the cost. That would bring it closer to maybe $2,500 to $3,000. I'm just going to assume that you already have that and you are providing that yourself. If you choose to go with this build list, this would just be the core components themselves. I think it's a really good list that balances performance with cost. There are a few cost-saving measures, like the 1070, like a little less RAM, that should, in the end, not really matter that much. RAM is easily upgradable. You still have 4 extra spare slots, no problem. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do build this PC or anything similar to it, do let me know in the comments below. I'd like to know how what your experiences are with this. And definitely stay subscribed so you can see those Ryzen laptop benchmark results. Don't worry guys, I'm getting those as soon as I can, just waiting for that laptop to arrive at this point. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.